They always said Thanksgiving was about gratitude. In my wife's family, it was about performance. My name is Logan Cooper. I'm 45, a facilities manager for a public hospital in Rochester, New York. I've been married to Natalie for 12 years. We have a 9-year-old son named Leo who collects state quarters and still believes every wish made over a birthday candle is technically binding. We pulled up to her parents' house under a sky the color of nickel, cold, bright, pretending not to snow. The porch was dressed like a catalog, plaid ribbons on the rail, a wreath big enough to serve satellite duty, a chalkboard sign announcing thankful and blessed. I carried the cranberry sauce and 2 pies. Leo carried a zippered binder of quarters. Natalie carried hope. For peace, for once. Inside, Donna pressed cinnamon smell into our coats with that long hug that's part affection, part inventory. Walter, my father-in-law, was already 3 bourbons in and auditioning for the role of patriarch emeritus. Chase, Natalie's younger brother, lounged by the gas fireplace in a sweater that cost more than my snow tires. He waved his phone without looking up. Logan, the backbone of America. I smiled. You learn to conserve energy in houses like this. Dinner began the way it always did. Gratitude around the table, delivered like toasts. Donna, for her health. Chase, for his consulting firm that had a website and no clients. Natalie, for Leo's science fair win. Walter went last. He always went last, rising to his feet and lifting his glass like he'd just ended a war. I'm thankful, he boomed, for a family that knows how to stick together. Thick and thin. He winked at me on thick and thin like we were co-conspirators. Maybe in a way we were. I'd co-signed their refinance 2 summers ago when their adjustable rate started climbing like ivy. I'd floated Chase bridge money 3 times in 2 years. I'd replaced a furnace and quietly paid an ambulance bill after Walter's mild heart scare. All of it, no big deal, because real help in this family was supposed to be invisible. We carved the turkey. Leo traced his hand on a napkin and wrote LEO 2025. It could have been easy, if Walter could stand silence. He started with safe jokes, the stuffing so good the Pilgrims would have filed patents. Then he got bolder. So, Logan, he said, stabbing air with his fork, you still at that hospital custodial thing? Facilities, I said softly. But yes, facilities, he echoed, savoring the syllables like vinegar. You're the guy who keeps the lights on. We love a man who knows where the mop closet is. Chase snorted into his wine. Donna performed neutrality. Natalie's hand found my knee under the table. Please. Leo's eyes fixed on me. I smiled into my water and let it pass. I've let 1,000 little cuts pass. But later, after pie, after the football hum and the orbiting small talk, Walter went in for the kill. He raised his glass. Question, Logan. Don't take this wrong. What's it like being the least ambitious man in the room? Laughter burst. Grateful. Cheap. Even Donna's lips twitched. I looked at Leo kneeling by the fireplace, sliding New Mexico into his map, watching me. I set my glass down. You really want an answer? Oh, we can handle it, he said. Okay, I said. It feels like being the least ambitious man who's been paying the difference between this mortgage and your Social Security for 18 months. And Logan calmly lays bare every hidden bill, Chase's toes, Walter's ER, the refinance, the furnace, ending. It feels like you calling that ambition, standing on a pile someone else holds up and calling it a mountain you climbed. No one laughed. Starting tonight, I said, it also feels like over. Leo blinked. Donna whispered, Logan, maybe. Kitchen's fine, I said. Truth doesn't stain granite. Walter sputtered. Chase protested. I ended it. What's cruel is teaching my son that love equals silence and money equals respect. I knelt beside Leo. Find Alaska for me. Got it. Me too, buddy. We drove home in clean silence. I should have stopped him years ago, Natalie said. We both should have. We can start now. Part 2. Paper is louder than bourbon. Morning brought clarity, not regret. I mapped every debt, every receipt. Attorney Marissa Boyd helped me draft a hold harmless agreement, promissory note, and notice to loan servicer. I emailed Walter and Donna. I won't be contributing further to the mortgage or Chase's expenses. Attached are documents removing me from risk. Please sign. I will not discuss money by phone or at gatherings. Email only. Logan. Then I took Leo to the Strong Museum of Play. Boundaries are like fences, I told him. They keep in what matters. Us, he said. Yeah, us. 3 days later, FaceTime rang. Walter, this is humiliating. Paper isn't punishment, I said. It's memory when tempers forget. Natalie, Mom, the middle is where Logan's dignity has lived 10 years. We're done with the middle. 5 days later, the signed documents arrived. Under protest, W protest is still consent in ink. Part 3, the cost of silence, the price of peace. Gossip spread. I'd humiliated Walter. I didn't argue. I blocked Chase, filtered emails, stopped overtime. Our home got lighter. Laughter returned. One night, Chase idled in my driveway. You made Mom cry, he said. No, I made you pay your own bills. He admitted he was 2 months behind on rent. I handed him a credit counseling number. If you follow her plan, I'll match your first payment. Not $1 more, you're a jerk. I'm a boundary. Weeks later, Donna emailed that Chase had taken the appointment. Then a PayPal request from the counselor. $82. I paid. Quietly. On Christmas Eve, a collector called about Walter's ambulance bill. You don't have me on that account anymore, I said, sending a revocation of authorization letter. An hour later, acknowledged. Account updated. That's what peace sounds like. Paper clicking sent. Part 4. The thing that didn't happen. We didn't go to Walter's for Christmas. We made ravioli that looked like folded napkins. On December 27th, a white envelope arrived, a mortgage release stamped and signed. Natalie leaned on my shoulder. We breathed. A voicemail from Walter. You made your point. Enjoy the distance. We're figuring things out. Distance, I learned, isn't punishment. It's the space where people can relearn to stand. By February, Donna met Natalie for coffee. She apologized for laughing. She asked to try again, no obligations. Natalie said yes. March. Chase texted a photo of his on-time budget sheet. I replied with a thumbs up. Sometimes that's all a person needs. I see you. By April, our life had shape. Saturday pancakes, evenings on the rug with Leo, Natalie's eyes soft with respect instead of worry. At work, I proposed a new maintenance plan. They gave me a raise. Freedom fills its own ledger. In May, camping under stars, I realized the word loser had never belonged to me. It belonged to the man who said it. Part 5. The quiet after healing came slow but steady. We see Donna sometimes. She brings casseroles and lets me wash the dishes now. Walter asks about boilers instead of bragging. It's his version of, I'm sorry. Chase pays rent and sends screenshots like trophies. I answer, good work. I stopped needing to win rooms. The mirror got quieter. Some nights, mugs steaming in the dark, Natalie asks, do you ever wish you'd said it sooner? Every day. But maybe I needed to carry it long enough to know I wasn't dropping it in anger. I was setting it down in peace. That's what it felt like, she said. Peace. So maybe you're still at that table, laughing to survive. Maybe you're driving home in the first honest silence you've heard in years. I can't promise it's easy, but I can promise this. Dignity is lighter than debt. Kids remember the sound of truth more than the taste of turkey. Paper isn't cruelty, it's clarity that lasts. Last time we visited Donna's, Leo pointed at the mantel, a map of quarters labeled ours. She'd helped him finish it. Driving home, Leo said, you know how to keep the lights on, Dad? I laughed, the sound of a man who finally believes himself. Natalie whispered, you know what I'm grateful for? For the night, you told the truth and didn't make it a war. That's what strength looks like. Quiet, signed, sealed, alive. So, if you've ever been called a loser for carrying people who couldn't see your worth, ask yourself what I finally asked behind that wheel while my son slept in the back seat. What would you have done in my place?